Hey everybody, welcome back. Now, there seems to be quite a lot of romantics out there amongst you all because I've had a couple of requests for the same thing, which is to make a ring box. I thought because it was Valentine's Day coming up in a few days, it might be a useful one to do right now. I've got a piece of something or another here. I don't know what it is. It's the same piece of wood that I made the tulip out of last week. So I know that it's going to come out quite pretty because the grain in that was really, really nice. So I reckon that's a good candidate. So let's have a go. So I think what I want to do is probably a very similar shape to last week's video, in that the bottom will be kind of like a, I don't know, like almost like the bottom end of a teardrop. Let's mark off some sort of bottom. There's a big weird knot there I don't like, so we'll just use that as the bottom stock. And then I reckon I'm going to do a finial top. There's about 1/3 there, 2/3 there-ish. Well, slightly less than that. So I'm going to go ahead and chuck this up into the jaws this time. I'll keep the tailstock for a while, give this some sort of shape and have a play and see what it kind of comes out like. So I might part that off. It looks like an egg cup. Well, it actually looks a bit like one of the tulips at the moment. See, I was toying with the idea of maybe making a tulip and then putting a removable kind of like stem lid in it, but I think that might look a bit weird. Right, I'm going to part that off, I think, and then we'll get to hollowing it out. Right. So far it's exactly like making the tulip. I need to change the end on my hollowing tool a minute. If you haven't seen one of these before, this is a crown hollowing tool system, the Revolution system, and it has interchangeable bits to go on the end which are incredibly useful. And it also has this kind of pistol grip arrangement halfway down which allows you to hold it like that, which stops it torquing round, so you can get in places which you really wouldn't be able to do most of the rest of the time. It's pretty cool. They're blimmin' expensive, but it was worth it. Now what I want to do is make a little kind of mortise in there. I'm going to do some sanding on the outside of this for a minute, and then I'll bring you back after I've done that. Brought you back a little earlier. I've done most of the sanding, but I wanted to try something and I thought I'd try it with you, which is, why not? I expect most of you watching the video that are wood turners probably know about this stuff anyway, so I'm a bit late to the party, I'm afraid, with it. But it is, our famous Yorkshire grit. So I've sanded it up to probably about 400. Still see a few little tool marks and sanding marks in there, but we'll see if this helps. So the way I understand it is you kind of stick it on not too thick. Softer than I thought it was going to be. Cool, it doesn't half pop the colour well. I don't quite know what I'm going to do with the bottom yet, so I'm going to kind of just go up to here and just see how it goes. And then with a bit of warp speed, with the lathe going in the right direction, we should you can actually feel the grit in it. So I guess it's a polishing paste, all-in-one wax thing type stuff. I'm guessing it needs wax over the top. Let me know in the comments if you've used this. It's like a wood turner's secret weapon. Well, that's how it's sold anyway when you watch other videos or talk to people about it. We'll see if it's a secret weapon or not. I quite like the colouring. Pretty. I'm going to wax it though, and I'm going to beeswax this one. Being such a light wood, I guess it's harder to see the effects of the Yorkshire grit, but I've seen other people using it and it's pretty impressive stuff. So we've still got to make the lid for this, which could be, well, an interesting experience, so stay put. I'm running out of cloths. I need to go and get some more, cut up somebody's clothes. I'm sure the kids wouldn't mind that. Really, would they? This stuff's really good. This is kind of the stuff you buy in Halfords, or I don't know what the American equivalent would be, or any other country's equivalent would be. It's like a cotton weave, loose knit weave stuff. Automotive applications quite a lot of the time, polishing. I quite like a nice high sheen on this. That's pretty good. Yeah, look at that. That's pretty nice, isn't it? I have a funny feeling and that I know what this is, this wood, and it's quite, it's funny, if I said I was going to make something out of this, I think everybody would be pretty horrified until they'd seen the results from last week and this week. But I think this is actually cut about 2.5 years ago. I think this is a Leylandii branch, believe it or not. I think it's softwood, and I think it's a Leylandii branch, and actually I really like it. Look at the lovely colour in it. It's ever so delicate and ever so pretty. Who would have thought such a horrible, ugly old tree? Well, I suppose they're not always ugly old trees, but mostly they are. Certainly a pain in the butt for anybody who's got one. Who'd have thought that it could look like that? But I'm fairly sure that that's what it is. So I have the other piece, which we cut off earlier in that way. I'm going to chuck this up backwards and true it up and bring you back. decided that I am going to learn how to use a skew properly, and as you can see, I've got a long way to go. A lot of people are quite scared of them, but there really isn't a more versatile tool in our toolkit than a skew, and if you can use one properly, oh my word, you can almost do anything with it. So you'll see me trying to use one of these more and more, and hopefully one day I might pick it up. Right, so now we need to what do we need to do? So we need to fit it onto the lid. Now you may be wondering why I left the bottom on of this. I've left the bottom on because it's going to go back in the chuck, and then it'll become a jam chuck for the lid, hopefully, and then we can blend the lid in with the cup of the opening, and then hopefully make a nice finial on the top, which always ends up being an awful lot shorter than I imagined, but we'll give it a try. So that's why it's still on the base. So now we need to fit the base of this into this. So I've got my trusty calipers. So that's 46. I don't know why I'm bothering to read the number, because we don't really need to know the number, do we? And then I'm going to add about 1 millimetre on, because I don't want to overdo it. Now it doesn't need to be a tight fit, but it needs to pop on and off a little. I don't think for a ring box you really need anything that suction fit that we like to go for. I think I went too far. Let's see. Oh no, ever so slightly more. Let's just true this face up while we're here. That is pretty tight. But still, it's a fraction. There. That's good. We're going to take that one off there, and we're going to put that one back in there. Okay, now I'm going to just blend this lid a little bit, hopefully without blowing it up. Oh. Nice catch there. It's gone quite deep as well. I'm hoping that I can blend that in because it was a bit thin. Alright, look at that great big knot in the middle. Right, let's try and it's actually better now it's balanced up, but that wasn't quite the way I had planned doing it. I'll have to resand that, but we'll do that at the end. I want to cup this, but it's so difficult to get in there. What do you think? Stop. Stop, Matt, stop. That looks okay. I might do something with that afterwards, but it might just even be with sandpaper. Right, let's get some of this material down. And then we can start. What? Gently. Okay, I've just put some tape here just to help me out a bit. It's not going to do that much, but I'm hoping that if I do get any kind of little catches at this end, then it might help it kind of stay put. I've sharpened up. I want to try and get some of this material down on the finial end. I have no idea what shape I'm going to be. It's supposed to be like a little ring that you can drop a ring on, but whether or not that ends up happening, I don't know. It's going to be slowly. You have to remember to breathe when you're doing this sort of thing. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I'm terrified of touching that. There's a really big knot in the middle of this, which I'm very concerned about breaking. So it might have to have a slightly thicker taper than I would really want. But I'm going to sand this bit. More than that, thank you. Oh, it's getting there, but it's very fragile. Whether you can see there's a very weak part because there's a big knot there. Let's take this off. Okay, how are we looking? Still that hole there. There's a little ridge around there. But I actually don't mind that, it looks quite nice. I'm going to leave this here until the last possible moment because, well, for obvious reasons really, to be honest with you. Let's try our old friend the Oxford grit again, because I had to redo this bit because it does kind of provide a finish as well. I don't know whether it's got, I need to read the instructions or find some good videos on it. If you've used it, let me know. Do you need a wax over the top, or is it just personal preference? I guess everything is personal preference to a point, but you know. I do like the colour it gives everything. It's very gentle. Let's see if we can polish this up without ruining it. Useful actually, because I can't put any pressure on really sanding this. So if this does the job of polishing it up, then that would be very handy. I don't know whether you can hear the grit. Very fine. It's kind of like afterwards. It's kind of like a 0000 wire wool kind of finish. Well, next time I do one, I'll try and get a bit more adventurous with the Finial, but I've never had the best of luck with Finials. I've still got to get that end off yet. Okay, I think it's time to go for broke. Let's hope that's not the expression of the day, and see if we can just part this off without ruining the damn thing. Oh, that works. I could have just stuck a toothpick in the top. That would have worked just as well, wouldn't it? I think that's a nice shape for the bottom. It's like a little goblet. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. This is one of those wonderful projects that you can do where it literally can be absolutely anything you want. I guess that's where it's art. It's whatever touch you want to make, whatever you want to put on it. I'm not really the most artistic of people as far as making up designs are concerned. I can copy designs very well. Like I can copy paintings and pictures very well, but I can't draw from my imagination. I have to have some sort of prompt. I know curves look nice in wood because with pieces like this you get the grain coming out. Thank you for watching, everybody. Have a good Valentine's Day if you celebrate such things, or if this is absolutely nowhere near Valentine's Day, which it's obviously going to be very shortly, then have a good day, weekend, evening, morning, or any other time of day that you happen to be watching this. Thank you for watching, though. I really appreciate it. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. It helps me get to know what you'd like to watch, and it also helps me with good old algorithm. And please consider subscribing if you're not already. It'd be great to have you in the community. I'm doing a weekly video and it would be great to have you along. See you next time.